Welcome to today's positive thought for August the 13th. Today we'll look at one aspect, one positive thought, and maybe you can look at your own life and understand how, with a bit more thought and planning, universal life lessons can be dealt with, and we can succeed. So in this video, we'll look at one area that is quite common in the world we live, and that is a positive thought relating to conflict. So if you've seen the Angel of the Day video, you will know that the angel is Mahashaya, and that is spelled M-A-H-A-S-H-I-A-H. And this is an angel who deals with battles, giving us the energy and planning to be successful in battles. And in this positive thought video, we will look at conflict. So, we will all deal with conflict throughout our lives from an early age, until quite late in our life. There may be conflict with, family members, could be work colleagues, could be neighbours. It could just be even conflict going to work, and maybe somebody cuts you up in the car, and then you get angry and you start waving your fist at them. And so conflict can happen at any time, and some of these battles, like in the car incident, will be over in a few seconds, but sometimes we can dwell on that energy, and that is something we should try to avoid, because we are sending that negative energy back into the universe. So when we look at conflict, there is probably two ways to deal with conflict. One is to be negative, and what we do is perpetuate that conflict. In effect, if somebody says bad things to us, we say bad things to them. They then make it worse. We then make it worse as well by adding to the conflict. And it's almost like putting fuel on top of a fire. We just make it worse. Both sides are trying to get the upper hand, and the conflict will continue. It might continue for days. It could continue for months, years. And that is a lot of negative energy around us. And that is a lot of negative energy, excuse me, that we are sending back into the universe. So that's one way to deal with conflict, is clearly to make it worse. The other way to deal with conflict is to maybe take a step back, consider, why there is a problem. And what can be very difficult is to actually look at both sides of the argument. We clearly know what our side of the argument is, but why is the other person so convinced their argument is correct? Why do they feel they need to defend their side of the argument? And maybe they are, as confident as us that they are right. They've got a lot of energy for the argument, and maybe the same as us. So it can appear very much like, two stags, two male deers with, giant antlers, headbutting and bashing into each other, because they're both equal in strength and size. And it's one of those arguments, battles that can go on for quite some time. So, the difficulty is to consider the other person's point of view. Why do they feel they need to argue with us? Is there some information they know that we don't know about? And if we had that information, would it change our opinion? Would it change our outlook? Sometimes we have to have a good look at ourselves, to see if actually we are maybe causing the problem. And what I mean by that is, maybe, as an example, a manager at work feels, we're not meeting our target, we're not pulling our weight. And we may, come up with reasons for that. We may say there was a problem with an order you had to resolve. that somebody didn't give you the information until late in the day, and you had to rush the job to try to get it completed. So there will be reasons why you will say, you didn't meet your target, or you had to help others. But the manager, for whatever reason, may not be interested, and may just say you didn't do your job. So, we need to have a good look at ourselves, and the excuses, the reasons why maybe we didn't reach the target, are they genuine reasons? If they are, maybe a director asked us for help, and that time away from our job was the reason we didn't reach the target, then we need to make that point clear to the manager. But we need to do it in a calm way, by just shouting back, maybe at a manager or work colleague or a family member. It just makes the situation worse. Sometimes it can be worth turning the argument round a little bit, and maybe saying to your partner, work colleague, I can understand where you're coming from, and when you look at maybe the work target, you can see that it didn't reach the target, but you need to take into account that for 2 hours in the day I was working with the director, and if you do go and speak to the director, he will be able to confirm that I was working with him, and that is why I didn't have the time to meet my target. You can clearly say that normally you do meet your targets, and even if it's a bit of conflict with a partner at home, you can say, well, I normally do do my share of the jobs around the house, but I did have a very busy day and I was feeling quite stressed and needed to rest and recharge, and tomorrow I'll make up for it by doing a bit extra. So clearly in those situations, you're considering the other person's point of view. You're understanding why they feel the reason to argue with you, or to maybe make a point that you're not helping out, you're not doing sufficient work, and that work then has to be dealt with by others who have to make the time for that work. So it's worth making it clear if people feel you're not doing enough and there is conflict, and explaining why that conflict happened and how you will put it right. So it is making sure that you are in personal charge of your own battles, and by putting the energy in, as we said with the angel of the day, and saying, okay, tomorrow I'll meet my target, tomorrow I'll do extra around the house, so all the jobs are done. You will clearly show that you take your personal responsibility seriously. And by winning any battles or conflict, maybe consider the other side, the other person's point of view. Have you really been taking it easy? And then put into practice planning how you'll put it right. Use your energy, and then you will be able to resolve the conflict. And once you resolve the conflict, you will feel better for it. That energy goes back to the universe, and the universe will see that you have been able to resolve a life lesson by being calm, planning, and using energy to resolve it. So that is very positive, and the universe will be very pleased that you're using positive energy to get positive results. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, then please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, then even a thumb down. And if you did like the video and would like to be notified of the next video, as there are 2 videos every day, an angel of the day and a positive thought of the day, then please hit the subscribe button, and if you hit the bell, you'll be notified generally by email when the next video goes live. So I hope you have a great day today, until the next video.